Hey, Sam and Jessica, you just missed John take his glasses off. He wanted to look good for this opening shot. But it's been good to see what you guys have been working on. And if you can't tell, I've got my buddy John back again, fan favorite. He's got more tools to show us. We talked about the agent coach last time. And then this time we were looking at, for recruiting purposes, a KPA tool that you've also developed. And I can't wait to learn more about that. So, John, tell me what's good.
One of the things is that in addition to all the different roles that I do, I am a leverage series instructor. So I teach career visioning, 30, 60, 90, success through others. And a lot of what we do in those classes is about the hiring process. But one of the things that the KPA is really good for is for leadership on recruiting agents. And this isn't just for leadership either, because at the same time, a lot of Rainmakers are out there recruiting agents to join their team as well too. I was on a task force for Keller Williams a while back on how we could get more leadership to start using the personal reports to get into recruiting conversations or have better recruiting conversations with their recruits. And as I dove into this AI stuff, that's kind of where my mind's at these days is anything I do, can AI help with that? And so I really kind of dug in a while back and said, hey, can AI really help with the recruiting process uh, with knowledge about the KPA? So what I did is I built this custom GPT out. It's free for all Keller Williams leadership or Rainmakers that want to use it as well too. And I took all my knowledge about being an instructor, all of the content of the leverage series, all of the slide information from the leverage series, all the notes that I've taken from teaching thousands of agents on the leverage series and leadership on the leverage series, and I put all of that knowledge base into this GPT, and it's pretty dialed in, and I've trained it not to go outside of the scope of that stuff. So it doesn't hallucinate, it doesn't pull in information that's not relevant to using the KPA. And the end result is you have this tool that is more knowledgeable about the KPA process than a human being that I know. And it is literally your assistant in basically recruiting agents and can do some really, really just amazing stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've done this and we've done similar things in this on this show where we did it where it was kind of prompt based. But I'm really interested to see and looking forward to you showing off what it looks like when you've actually got all those guardrails that are already pre-set up in the GPT that you've made.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is that the prompt writing skills is probably the most important skill I think that you can learn right now. But at the same time, a lot of us aren't there yet in terms of knowing how to write good prompts. A lot of us don't know what questions to ask. And the other thing is just general AI, for example, doesn't know all of the course content from the leverage series. And because when I was first starting to ask AI some of these questions on this stuff, it was like, what are you talking about? Disk isn't even referenced in the KPA materials and stuff like that. I don't want you to go outside the box there. I want you to focus in on the tool that we have, right? And so training it to make sure that it stayed within the confines of this amazing resource and tool that we have was really, really important to me.
Yeah, awesome. You want to show it off?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to need to go in real quick just
Glasses
so you
back
can get a
on.
full thing on this. So I'm going to need to download because I am on a new computer, so I don't have this on my uh, on this laptop yet. So
Okay.
I'm going to pull down a KPA. I'm going to pull down a KPA personal report so we can demo this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let me sign in here real quick. And I need to make sure I'm in the right account. Ah, come on. I
You
don't
know that
need.
you can cut and paste, John?
What was that?
You
Yeah.
know that you can cut
No.
and paste?
Yeah. No, I switched from Windows to a Mac. I still use both,
Yeah.
but I if I'm a little slower on this computer, it's I've been a lifelong Windows user.
Welcome to the club, brother.
Okay. So I just want to pull down a KPA report. So let me go in here real fast. I think it's in this one. CV, student resources. Okay, there we go. And that's job fit. I wanted to actually pull down a personal report because most of what we use to recruit is personal report. So let me see if I can go into the recruiting one. There we go.
Here it
Uh,
is. First one.
there we go.
The world
So,
famous Madison Offenhauser.
yeah, there we go. So I'm going to download this here real quick and pull down the personal report. Okay, cool. So now I can go into ChatGPT, and it is, I'm going to show you how to find it here real quick. So if you go into GPTs, you can just, I know this is a mouthful because it's called the AI KPA Recruiter. You can either search that way or you can type my name, which is just John Morris, JOHNMORRIS, and it'll pop up. So if I put in, say, for example, my name, then that's going to give me you a list of a lot of my stuff that I have built out. And then that you can see the AI KPA Recruiter pops up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to that one and I'm going to hit start chat. Now, there's some quick start things here. So if you are just starting for the first time, you can upload the KPA and build a custom recruiting plan. If you just want to know how to build rapport with a recruit, you can use that quick start button. If you just want to know the person's strengths, blind spots, or if you want to generate CV style questions based on this person's KPA, because that's one of the things I found that's really cool about this is the KPA gives us questions to ask. But basically, this will, and we should still ask a lot of those questions that are already in the KPA report. However, this is going to really analyze their report and give specific questions to ask this specific person that's going to bring them into closer emotional proximity to you, right?
Mhm.
So we'll just do the first one. So I'm going to hit upload a KPA report, help me build a custom recruiting strategy. And then it's going to walk through basically telling me what to do. So like if I don't know anything to do, that's okay. This is trained to kind of walk you through it. And that's what like I said, is sometimes we don't know what questions to ask or we don't know what to do. So we're not going to get a lot out of the AI. You don't need to know what questions to ask because this is going to take you through all of it, right? So it tells me I need to upload a job fit or personal report. It can handle both, right? And it's going to ask, hey, what role are we looking at bringing this person on for as well too? So I'm a team leader. So I'm going to just type in, I'm a team leader recruiting this person as a MEG agent. So that's the only thing we really need to know ahead of time is, hey, what role are you in? What are you, and then who's the person you're asking to analyze?
Yeah.
So is this going to be a buyer's agent? Is it a mega agent that you're recruiting? Who are you recruiting, right? And so then I'm going to just click to add photos and files. I'm going to look for that download. There's the personal report right there. And I'm going to upload that into the system.
Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go.
And then that's all I need to do. And then I click, return. And now it's going to give me a ton of insights.
It thought for like 2 seconds.
So basically, here's an executive summary on this person. So it summarizes what it gleaned from the report. It tells me, hey, here are the top three things that you can do to get into relationship with this person a little bit better.
Mhm.
So, like for example, number one, acknowledge his leadership drive early. Position this as a platform for building a high-producing team within KW, right? He wants you to speak in results language because he's very results oriented, right? Respect his autonomy because this is somebody that is a business owner. He doesn't want to be made to feel like he's working for you. It's more of a partnership. Then it also lists out what his top three likely objections are ranked. So it's based off of his report. It's telling me, the most likely objection is going to be, I need freedom to run my business my way. And it tells me that's going to be a high probability that that objection is going to come up. And that's going to be a high impact on whether or not he joins our company. And then it gives me a suggestion or a one-liner on how to overcome that. And then it ranks the next, 2 and 3 with the same results, right? And then it gives me KW specific talk tracks aligned to motivation. So based on the motivation that this agent has, how do we align our value proposition with the things that this person's motivated by,
Yeah.
right? So empire building appeal, getting a competitive edge with our models, freedom through showing him how to build leverage in his business. These are all things that are going to align with what we do better than anybody else at KW and what he's most interested in, right?
Mhm.
And then it gives recommended next steps on what you want to do. And then it says, hey, if you want, I can prepare and expand a detail section with full behavior analysis, tailored CV interview questions, and a 90-day influence plan for Madison. This would give you a play-by-play roadmap from the first meeting to sign commitment. So this first page that it gave you is just a little bit of an overview. Hey, I want the plan because I want to know how to recruit this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me the full plan. And now it will give you much more detailed plan on how to recruit this person. Here's the person's core drivers, which are important to them. Here's where this person is naturally strong for the role of a mega agent. Here are some opportunities or some things to watch out for. And I want to really hone in on those watch outs because I know that those are going to probably be areas of pain point in his business right now. And I want to make sure that I, spend some time in the pain to help motivate this person to move, right? Tony Robbins has always said we are much more likely to run away from pain than we are to run towards pleasure. Right. And so I think that's one of the things that this does really well is it talks about, hey, how do I kind of like find that sore spot and stick my finger there a little bit with this person to make them uncomfortable to realize, hey, I can't stay what I'm currently doing because this hurts. And this team leader or this leader has a solution for me, right? And then it goes into a deeper rapport building strategy, gives you language to use because we know that language is important in terms of influence and getting people to align with us. So it gives you key words to actually use in your conversations that'll appeal to this particular person. And then here's one of my favorite parts. It's kind of like I said, it will now create specific career visioning recruiting questions based on this person's KPA, not just the general list of questions that the CV asks us to go over with you.
These are like new questions that aren't already in the report
Yeah,
that
that aren't in the thing. It's like, hey, these are going to be the trigger points that are going to get this person to think,
yeah.
right? Based on what it's gathered from the KPA.
Yeah.
And then it goes through those objections and responses again, goes through the KW specific motivational talk tracks again, and then it gives me a 90-day influence and conversion plan. So phase 1 is weeks 1 through 2. This is what I got to do with this recruit.
Mhm.
Phase 2, weeks 3 through 6. This is how I show value to this recruit.
Mhm.
Phase 3, partnership framings, weeks 7 through 10. And then now I'm going for commitment in weeks 11 through 12, right? And then post-join success
And
through,
this, I love this. I love this because there's so much in recruiting. We always think of like how to get people to come join. And then there's that extra thought of like, hey, how do we make sure that once they join, they're having a great experience with this? I love this.
yeah, so once on board, you can move quickly into a 30, 60, 90 mastery of mega agent leverage, first 3 months, quarterly rate and rank to track leadership development, and a long-term empire building plan inside of your market center. So this is what I do with this person once they join. And then, hey, if all of this is a lot, hey, I want a one-page recruiting battle card.
I have to know what the battle card is. Let's do
Give
it.
me the battle card.
And this is where it generates like an image of like a Magic the Gathering card.
Yeah, so it's basically just going
Right.
to give you that candidate snapshot, top drivers, rapport moves. So it's a nice summary of all the things that the longer detailed one did, but it's all on one page, right?
Yeah.
So now I can basically print this out, and it'll also make you a pocket-sized version that's condensed if you want as well too, right? Um, and so this is just a really cool way to be able to get into relationship better with people and give you an actual plan on how to best recruit each person based on the things that they're interested in as well too. And some feedback that I've got is Jonathan Dupree, who hosts KWRI's Power Up calls, has had me on his call like twice to kind of demo this. I talked to Jonathan not too long ago, and he said, man, the feedback on agents, or excuse me, team leaders that have been using this has just been incredible. That like literally every call somebody's coming on saying that they've been successfully able to recruit somebody based on this. And I know last time was on his call, there were like two team leaders that one had recruited three R2s or two R2s in like a 30-day period using this, and they completely credited this to being able to help them. And then the other one I know was a friend of mine in Maryland that used this, and he said, "Man, John, this thing I don't leave home without it." That basically, he said, I recruited three R2s in a 30-day period. Two of the R2s were people that I had been working on for like months and they weren't budging. And so I just put their stuff in here and followed the plan that the GPT gave me. And he said that just broke the ice instantly, and I got him to like sign right away. So we're starting to really see some major traction amongst team leaders that are using this at a high level to be able to land market share.
Yeah, I love that. Are there any other things that it does? I know that it had at the beginning there was like four options. And
Well, yeah. So basically, if you just want to cut to some different spots, right?
yeah,
And one thing, kind of, I showed you a pro tip last time. I want to do that again here as well too. So, this again, conversation is going to get saved into. I'm going to probably have to refresh my window because it's not showing up in my chats. Um, but yeah, there we go. So now if I go down here, custom recruiting strategy, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to rename this.
yeah,
And I'm going to just put Madison Recruit. And then now, if obviously, let's say I meet with Madison, Madison doesn't sign up, and I want to come back to this specific conversation so that the AI has context of what we've been working on, rather than going and starting a new session here where it's going to maybe not have as much recall on the convo. I
yeah,
could just go back to the Madison recruit session and like literally every contact that I have with Madison, I can ask it, say, um, hey, met with Madison, and he's really pushing back hard on feeling like he'll lose his freedom, because we know that was a high trigger point,
yeah,
run his business by coming to KW. What should I do? Right?
yeah,
So now I can come back to this chat and it remembers everything, right? Hey, that pushback is exactly what we expected, right? It's a buying signal if you handle it correctly. So it tells me how to reframe that, how to anchor the ownership, show the freedom formula by mapping out his current 20% and highlight the 80% he's stuck doing now. Use that partnership language. So it gives me a bunch of stuff to do. And if I want to create a text for me, if I want it to create an email for me or a call script for me, or if I want to role play a conversation that I might have with Madison, we can ask the AI to role play it with me as well too. So we can come back in here and ask it whatever we put out, whatever we're getting back from the recruit, we can come back into the convo, put it in there, and have this coach us through this. So this is really not just something to create a roadmap for you. This is actually your recruiting coach to help you recruit this particular person,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I love it.
So going back to what you had originally asked, these other buttons. hey, if I just want to know, I don't need all of that other stuff. I just want to get into relationship with this person. So that other button takes me right into building rapport with this person,
Yeah.
right? This one, hey, I just want to know what this person's like sore spots are. So if I
Yeah.
don't want to go through that whole kind of like plan, I just want to get down to like a couple quick things. I can,
Yeah.
say, hey,
But
whatever
these
the
are like
case.
sections of that mega
Yeah,
process.
what I showed you is kind of like the overall, like holistic way to recruit somebody, to create a plan around it. Now, if I want to just focus in on specific areas like creating CV questions, because I'm going to meet with this person, knowing what somebody's blind spots are, knowing how to build rapport, then I can do that too. But like literally, this knows everything about 30, 60, 90, success through others and career visioning. So I can ask it literally any question about any of that process.
Hmm.
And it'll coach me through those things and guide me through those things.
I
Right.
love it. I love it. I love it. Is there anything else that you think people should know about this?
Just use it because again, I think at the end of the day, kind of like what we talked about in the last session that we were together, it's
Yeah.
no matter how smart you are, right? Um, I've been in the business 22 years. I've forgotten more things than I remember, right? And even if we've taken CV 10 times, right? We're not going to retain everything. And at the same time, this is one of the reasons why I tell people to take, leverage series multiple times is a lot of times in our business, we'll take a class, we'll learn something really cool, but then we won't learn something from that class because maybe we're not ready for it. And that's why a lot of times people will take CV multiple times because they're like, I, I have an aha, they'll tell me, hey, John, I have this amazing aha, and I've taken CV 3 times, but I never really got it before. And it's because in our business, we are where we are today, and sometimes we aren't ready for a message that is getting presented until later because we have to go through that pain point in order to recognize that's something we need to know. So I wasn't maybe ready for it 4 years ago, but now I'm receptive or my mind is ready to learn this process now because that's now I'm in a different spot than I was 4 years ago and I'm ready to learn this.
Yeah.
And so what this really does is no matter where you are in your business, you can come into this anytime and it's going to help really give you what you want and what you need right now, right? So I think that this knows everything all the time and it doesn't forget anything. So this is a really amazing tool that, like I said, I don't know any human being that knows more about leverage series than this tool.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Awesome. John, thank you again for coming on once again. And I'm looking forward to having you on again here in the future for some of those other cool GPTs that you've got built that are just really phenomenal. And I just love the fact that, we talk about important prompts are, and then also we have these custom GPTs that are already made that already have a lot of these guardrails in place to really focus the conversation and on what the outcome is that you're trying to achieve. And we saw that with the agent coach. We saw that with this. And I know we're going to see it with the smart listing the next time we have you and some of the other ones that are on there. But John, I appreciate having you today. And Pat, I keep saying Patrick. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Because Patrick's everywhere.
Patrick's everywhere. Sam and Jessica, I will see you guys this week on what you're working on next. Cheers.
All right.
Hey, wait, no, seriously, subscribe. Do it.